Me and my fiance, we went out shopping and I bought for her a very beautiful dress. We spent nearly 20k when we went to the mall. My fiance, she is so happy, but she does not know that I am not a genius whom she think I am. I am someone who is playing with the devil, and the devil wants me to sacrifice this girl that I love and the baby that she is carrying. I am supposed to sacrifice him even if I do not want. If I do not give them a soul, they are coming for my soul. Nashi, it was back in 2022. I was nothing. I was someone that had tried hustling. I had even sold my car after I had joined a Forex class. We used to have these Forex trading classes on Zoom, and then I invested. At first, I saw some returns, but then that was when I started losing money. I lost so much money in a very short period of time, so much that it was so painful. And I only had 5k that was left. That was when I decided to put this 5k on a gold trade after another guy in Venda had promised me that if I can just put that 5k on a gold trade, I was going to be making a lot of money and I would return back in the game. I was owing people money and I owed money to dangerous people. I was down over 200k, and my girlfriend that I was dating, she did not understand what was happening, because one moment I had a great job and I had stopped working because I wanted to focus on my Forex trading. So she is still at university. She believed in me, though. She thinks that I'm someone that is a genius, because back then, before she was in university, when I had these financial problems, she really thought that we were going to drown and we were never going to get married. But by the time that she was in university, I was already rich. So I met a guy in Chatsworth. I knew this guy through this other uncle of mine. I went to him and I spoke with him, and he said, why didn't you go to your uncle? Then your uncle comes to me. You can't just approach me, then you say that you want a loan, because I am not your friend. I am your uncle's friend. So I had to go back to my uncle, whom I spoke with on the phone, and then I explained my situation to my uncle. My uncle stays in Joburg, and then he called his friend, and then I went back to that man who offered me a loan. He gave me a little bit of money, and then as I was about to leave his house, he then called me again, and I walked into his yard again, and then that was when he told me that he wanted me to meet a man that had assisted him in his time of need. That was when we went to a sangoma in the village from where he comes from. When we arrived at that sangoma's house, I was then told that in order for me to return back to where I was supposed to sacrifice something that I loved with all of my heart. This sangoma did not tell me what is it that I was going to sacrifice, because I was told that this sacrifice, it was not yet ready, but when the sacrifice will be needed, I was going to be informed and to be contacted. And I said, by whom? That was when he took out this other small reed basket, and inside the reed basket I saw that there was a small python, and I was told to touch the python. So this traditional healer told me that this python, it represented his ancestors, and when his ancestors wanted me to sacrifice, then the ancestors will know where I am, because of the way that this python would have licked me after I would have touched it. So he told me to touch on this python on its head, and after that it licked my head. I was then given a plastic 2-liter that was full of water, but not on the same day. This was almost after a month. I was even regretting ever going to a traditional healer, and I said it was far much better that I had used this money to bet. Maybe I would have returned some profit. So I was then called by my uncle's friend, who told me that I was supposed to come to his house. I then went to his house since he knew that I was into Forex trading, and then he gave me a plastic 2-liter that was full of water. He then told me that the water that I was looking at, it had been used to wash a victim, a woman, a victim of an accident before she had been put in the fridge. He told me to go back home to light a green candle, but I was supposed to wait for the green candle that he was going to import from India, and I was going to wipe my laptop screen as well as to wash my hands with the water every time the London session opened. I waited for nearly 14 days. He called me and he told me that his order from India had arrived. I went back to his house and I collected the candle. He did not give me only one. He said, let me just give you 7 candles. And then that was when I started to use them. But to tell you the truth, Bro Nash, I was terrified to know that I have water that has been used to wash a dead body in my own house. It was something that was really terrifying, but I was desperate. Even my girlfriend, she would come sleep with me without her even realizing that I had this water that I had in my bedroom. That night when I started using this water, I started to have dreams. I was catching fish. Later on, I was told by the sangoma that if you have such a dream where you find yourself, you are catching fish, it means that you're going to be making a lot of money. Then when I opened the charts for the first time in my life, the candle was there and I had washed my hands with the water that had been used to wash a dead person. I made 40K in 2 hours. I felt like I was a god. I called my girlfriend and I told her that we were going to be okay. 3 nights later, I was driving back from a club in Florida Road. I was alone, but then I felt that there was someone that was sitting at the back seat. I checked and I did not see anyone. Then I heard that there was someone that was crying who was sitting at the back seat. I looked into the mirror. What I saw, it was something that was really scary, but I did not panic. If I had panicked on that night, maybe my car would have overturned and I would have died. I saw that there was someone that was sitting there. It was a woman, and this woman, she had died in a car accident because of the way that her head had been injured, and she was holding a steering wheel, which meant that she was the driver of that car that she was driving, because she had a steering wheel that she was holding, and she was crying and then she disappeared. That very same night, I could not even sleep. I went back to the sangoma early in the morning. By 6 a.m. I was at his house. I told him that I could not live like this because I had seen a ghost. He laughed at me and he said that I was no longer a normal human being. I was supposed to understand that these things, they were bound to happen. I then heard from this sangoma that I would always see the ghost of this woman because she is connected to me, because the water that had been given to me, this water, it had some of her blood inside of it. So I then asked, what is wrong? So what am I supposed to do? Then the sangoma said, you used the spirits to get rich. Now you have to make sure that you become dirty so that when they see you, they do not want to get close to you. He said once you do ukutwala rituals, it's like all the spirits, some of them that you did not even do anything bad to them, they will just come to haunt you. And in order to protect yourself, you have to keep yourself dirty at all the times, so as to hide myself in this debt that I will be in, so that the spirit cannot find me. I then asked him, how was I supposed to do this? He told me that the only way to stop the haunting was a specific act. Whenever I would have seen this ghost, I had to find a mad woman, a homeless woman lost in her mind, and then I sleep with her. He said the spiritual debt of someone who has lost their soul to it will help me so that I won't be affected by the spirit of that woman who had the water that was given to me, and I was using it to trade, to make money through Forex. Brother Nashi, I am a man who wears expensive clothes. I live in a penthouse, but 20 times since 2022, I have driven around Dubarn CBD or the Point area at night to find someone that is broken, the most broken woman you can ever imagine. I have slept with those type of women, those that are running mad, those that are drug addicts such that they look like they are running mad. I have done things that makes me want to rip my own skin off. I even went a step further because I was tired of searching. I found a foreign woman. She was mad. She was wandering around. She did not even speak a word of Zulu. She spoke English. She was completely gone mental. I figured out that nobody would even look for her. I picked her up and I kept her in a back room of a property that I rented in a quiet suburb. Since you know that in the quiet suburbs, there is no one who cares about what another person does right next door. Whenever the crying in my car will get too loud, or whenever the ghost will appear to me whilst I was trading, I would drive towards that house and I would go to that room where I was keeping her, and then I would treat that woman like an object just to get dirty enough to be left alone. I am talking about a woman that was doing feces, poop in that same house where she was staying, and I was never supposed to open the windows. I had to keep her in a lot of filth so that when I go there I can get her filth. But I used to buy some takeaways for her, and I used to go and give her the food. She will just eat them. She really did not even care about anything. As for the expensive couch, it was a mess, my bro. There would be poop everywhere, urine everywhere. This woman, she was mentally ill, and I would come back home, shower for an hour, then take my girlfriend to an expensive dinner, and I would feel like I am a monster. But at the same time, what made me to remain sane was checking my bank balance. I have been paying for my girlfriend's university, and I did not know that in the end she will be required as a sacrifice. Everything changed, brother, after she had told me that she was pregnant. I think the mistake that we did was for him to fall pregnant. 2 months ago, she told me that she is pregnant, and it should have been the happiest day of my life. I have always wanted a child. If it is a son, then I will say, thanks heaven, because I wanted a son to inherit the empire that I am building. We started planning the wedding immediately. We want a very big wedding, but a private one where it's only me, her family. We can have the top catering company, the best photographers. Like, we just want a nice reality vibe, but without a lot of people. So everything is going according to plan. But the problem now is that I am being told to sacrifice. This was after I had seen a mad woman. Like, this mad woman, she appeared out of nowhere, and then she said, you have to sleep with me. How she got into my house, I really do not know, because I have large dogs at my house. I did not hear any barking, and I stay in a gated community. This woman, she just appeared. I was by the balcony. That was when I heard that there was someone that had jumped onto the bed. I walked, and then I expected to see my fiance, but it is impossible because my fiance, she is studying in Cape Town. How had she managed to return back to Dubarn in a very short period of time like that? And then that was when I realized that there was a mad woman, so dirty and oily. She was in my bed. I asked him, who the hell was she? And then she told me that she had came so that I can sleep with her. I started screaming. I rushed outside as she was following me, and then I went to see the sangoma, and this sangoma told me to stop giving him money because he has more money, more than I can ever have in my entire life. And I told him that I had this mad woman that had suddenly appeared in my house. The old man then said to me, you are supposed to sacrifice that woman that you saw. She has been sent by my ancestors. That was when he reminded me of the contract that we had made back in 2022. So I am supposed to sacrifice my fiance, but my child is not going to die. I have to pay the money that these men's ancestors gave to me. I was told that I can marry this girl, but the moment that she will give birth, she is going to be the one that is going to be sacrificed, and she is going to be used as a tokology by that same traditional healer. What really hurts about this whole situation that I find myself in, I was told that my child is going to survive. Even if my child survives, but mentally he is not going to be okay. I do not have anywhere to run to. I do not have anywhere where I can dump this child. I will lose everything if I try to block this man's ancestors. Now I am trapped in a nightmare, and I am supposed to continue pretending that everything is okay. My fiance is pregnant. Every time when she touches me, I feel so bad, because I know that I am going to give him to the ancestors of the traditional healer who assisted me. I am paralyzed. I'm scared of even going to another sangoma, even though I want you, Bronash, to assist me with the phone numbers of another sangoma that might be from Zim or from Mozambique. But this man, he told me that his ancestors, they will never like it if I even attempt to go to another sangoma. This is where I am right now. If you are out there and you are struggling in life, stay broke. It is far much better to get a job where you are working. Please do not go and do ukutwala rituals, because even if you are rich, I am a millionaire, but I am the most poorest man in South Africa right now because of what I go through on a daily basis. I feel as if I am even losing my own mind. I'll be there in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Let us try to speak with our dear brother in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. He's saying that even though he's staying in a very beautiful house, but he feels as if he is the most poorest man in the whole of South Africa, because he is nothing emotionally. He is nothing. He can't love, and he has to keep on doing these sacrifices. Let us meet again in the following episode.